Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Happy, what day is it? I think it's Tuesday. I don't know. It seems like a Tuesday. Anyway, good morning. How is everyone doing? I've got my tea with honey and lemon because I haven't been able, I still can't taste anything. How long has this been? I got off the COVID deathbed on December 24th, and my sense of taste still hasn't come back, and sense of smell, but hopefully someday it'll come back because I love to cook, and it's hard to cook when you can't smell or taste anything. And I think I almost killed my wife with some spices the other day because I couldn't taste them. I just kept putting them on the food I was cooking, and she went, oh, well, ugh. So got to be careful with that. Anyway, happy whatever it is, and I'm just going to get into it because the one story that I named the stream after kind of made me chuckle because, you know, everything and anything is white supremacy. Also, I got sort of a programming note. I'm going to have I'm going to have blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have some guests coming up. My first guest on Friday the 12th will be Gothics. If you're familiar with Gothics, I know a couple of you, I've seen you in her chat now and then. She's going to be a guest on the show Friday the 12th. I'm trying to line one up for this week, but they haven't quite worked that one out. But then later in the month, there'll be a couple others. And I'll put a list of upcoming guests on the PDawgKnight.live site so that you can know who's coming up. And also, I've got some videos coming up. I'm starting a new series called Proverbs for Modern Times, 21st Century. I haven't named it yet. 21st Century Bouts of Wisdom, maybe something like that. Anyway, and I can give you an example. You get a preview right now of one of these proverbs for modern times. Let me see. Here's one. Like a drunken sailor on shore leave after many weeks at sea, so is the government with the public treasure. Oh, there you go. Hey, we have a new top donor of the day, and that would be, this is Kyle. Hello, Kyle, and who says, hello, chat people in PDawg through the Streamlabs link. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the deuce on the Streamlabs. And oh shit, hang on a second. I just realized I'm not even prepared for this. Hang on, hold up. 5. Yep, can't put that. I don't want to put that on there. I don't need to put my business on the thingy here. Give me a moment. Programming note that I need a producer, and let's fix this. Kyle, I just want to let you know that you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day. Anyway, let's play the intro, and I'll be right back to start the show officially. See you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P Dizzle. Okay, PDawg Knight, and welcome back to the PDawg Knight Channel. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of February, 2021. Yes, I have a whole bunch of new proverbs that have been developed, not some by me, some by couple of the writers over at the Ace of Spades, just several people, and they'll be just short, sweet videos with some beautiful graphics and words of wisdom that are definitely part of our 21st century. For example, I have another one, and this one is well, here we go. Progressives look at reason and say, "Who are you?" and to common sense, they are but a stranger. There you go. See, a proverb for proverb for modern times. I know. Here's one. The progressive has 2 daughters. Submit and shut up. Da da da. See, that's and they're gonna be fun little videos. Anyway, so let's get into. Wait. Let's say good morning, everybody. Oh my God, I'm on top chat. Oh God, I gotta fix that. But anyway, let's say good morning to everyone who's here real quick. First in the chat today. Oh, I didn't hit the Twitter thingy either. There you go. First in the chat today, Becca Farley, who is now lurking because she's working, but you still get the bell, my friend. And thank you for tweeting out the show. Also, Maddie, thank you as always for putting the show out on the Twitter machine. I love that. Also, good morning, James PFP, Hate Campbell, Keenan's in the house, TC Ball, Galactic North, hello, the Bosch Tubes in the house, DI Freighter Watcher, nice to see you back. I think you've been hiding the last couple weeks. Also, good morning, Sanambul Nation. I'll always have to say that slow. MC's in the house. Hammer time. Nice to see you. Also, select a boy. Oops, no, whoa, wrong one. That's that one. Yeah, there we go. Also, and I already said hi to Maddie. Good morning, Sapphire Dragon, Black Hebrew Israelite. That's right. Also, Anna Lynn, James PFP, Joe Biden's in the house. Oh, man. Also known as Uncle Bad Touch. Good morning, Attack Alpaca. Good morning, Sean is in the hizzo. Good morning. I also see Tom Rich, aka Richo, with the marsupial avatar. Also, Legit Low Talker, nice to see you. Gunfox61, howdy from my snow in bunker. 26 inches, my God. Now, I know you live somewhere in Pennsylvania. I know a lot of you on the East Coast got just ravaged with snow. I am a little bit jealous. You know, they're talking about all the snowstorms all over the country, but that just didn't happen here in Minnesota where it's supposed to snow like that. Nothing. Didn't get a drip. So I'm kind of envious. Although sometimes you get a little cabin fever when you're stuck in with 26 inches. Damn. 14 or 7 mile an hour winds, gust up to 35. Good Lord, temperature 14 Fahrenheit. Now see, the 14 Fahrenheit, no big deal. It's like 20 here. Maybe it's a little warmer than that, but that's nothing. But the 26 inches of snow, holy smokes, that's amazing. All right. Also, good morning, used 003. Am I supposed to be reading that a different way? Hey, I'm in the upper Midwest. Well, I'm in the upper Western Midwest. Good morning. Also, let's see, whom I missed. Longfish61. That one chick, that's a new name. Now, that one chick, have you been here before? If you haven't, please tell me now. Is there something I should know? Okay, that's not what I meant to say. Please hit the subscribe button and click that little bell thingy down there, because then you'll be notified. Or you can follow me on almost any social media. I notice I have Twitter, Minds, Gab, and Parler right up here. But there's a problem. Parler's still not working. But I'm on CloudHub. I'm on Odyssey, Library, Trovo, BitChute. What's the other one? Rumble. Pretty much, if you find a social media, just look for PDawgKnight. It's the same name on every piece of social media. So there you go. And let's see if I missed anybody. Mr. Yes, nice to see you. You are back. Spambot22. I think I got just about everybody. If I missed you, it's not on purpose. It's just that when I scroll, sometimes it scrolls too fast. Oh, Mike Savage, blarg. And sitting outside the courtroom waiting for Becca. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you hang out with Becca. I wonder, well, what the hell? What are you doing? Top chat, bloody boomer. Yeah, I know I'm a top chat. I realize that. And I'm fixing it right now. And I probably missed a whole bunch of people. Oh my gosh. Mother Nature swinging a big dick. Well, interesting. I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, Uncle Bad, I think I got everybody. at least for now. Atheist icon. I don't know if I said hi, but I'm saying hi again. All right, let's get into what I wanted to talk about today, because this came directly out of left field. And when I say left field, wokedom, Indiana. This when I saw this on Yahoo News, I literally laughed out loud. Like, you say, everyone says LOL, but I laughed out loud because I didn't know what to make of it. And here is the title, and that's why I named this show White Privilege.
You're fucking a white male!
Did Bernie's inauguration outfit epitomized white privilege? A San Francisco teacher thinks so. Hello, Jonathan Peterson. Look, I don't even know if I need to read this article. Well, I'm going to read the one from the San Francisco Chronicle, but this you know what they're talking about, right? You know what they're talking about when the meme picture of Bernie Sanders sitting on the chair with his arms folded and he had his big old knitted mittens on. Did Bernie's outfit epitomize white privilege? Not wiped, not wiped, white with a T. Hello, Aaron Meredith, and Jonathan Peterson. Okay, so here's the art. Within hours of President Joe Biden's inauguration, the internet was consumed by images of Senator Bernie Sanders sitting stone-faced, bundled against the cold in a parka and colorful mittens. The meme turned into a fundraising bonanza for nonprofits and a symbol of a new administration getting down to business. What? Wait a minute. What? Now, this is the USA Today editor. How the F did the picture of Bernie Sanders become a symbol of a new administration getting down to business? That's a little editorial excess, if you ask me. But anyway, as a contrast to the carefully curated image cultivated by its predecessor. What carefully cultivated, curated image, whatever? Oh my God. Okay, I don't know what David Knowles is trying to say here, but anyway, well, one person, at least a public high school teacher in San Francisco named Ingrid Sayer-Ochi, who wrote an op-ed for the San Francisco Chronicle that appeared on Sunday and quickly went viral. Sayer-Ochi's objection was to the privilege, white privilege, male privilege, and class privilege that symbolize Sanders' choice of a relatively casual Burton snowboarding jacket and repurposed wool mittens. Now, rather than read the Yahoo notification of this stupid article, I am actually going to go straight to the source itself from the San Francisco Chronicle. Good morning, Chicago Mike. And we're going to look at this hot garbage of an editorial. I do not want to subscribe. Where's the X? Okay, what the hell happened here? Is this... No, here. I can fix this right now. Watch this. Let's I'm not playing that game. Let's just get the archive. Okay, here it is. And this will be in the tabs today. By the way, remember, every day, every article I read or reference will be in the description down below. I add it to the description right after the show. So if you ever want to read the articles or go back and repurpose the articles, you can. You can get the link there, or on the Discord server. I post the link to the show and the articles there also. So anyway, hello and good morning, Cairo Alexander. Here is the editorial in question. Hello, Tyler F. What's up? Bernie's Mittens. A lesson for San Francisco high school students in subtle white privilege. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everything is white privilege. Here is Ingrid Sayer Ochi. 3 weeks ago, I processed the Capitol insurrection with my high school students. Rallying our inquiry skills, we analyzed the images on that historic day. Images of white men.
You're fucking a white male!
Storming through the Capitol, fearless, with no forces to stop them. Dawg Thrapple. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not in the article. I just saw Scribe jump into the chat. Hello, Scribe. Hi, Scribe. I can't do the baby voice though. I wish I could. Anyway, this, I said, is white supremacy. This is white privilege. It can be hard to pinpoint, but when we see it, we know it. Now, one question before I continue jumps out right off the bat. In fact, maybe I can find it. Let's just do a little search here. Let's see. Supreme Court occupied. Let's just see if that's there. Yes, anti-Kavanaugh protesters banged on the doors of the Supreme Court. Oh no, Senate. They occupied the Senate building. I'm just curious because all the women and whatever that broke into the Senate building and occupied the Senate chambers and whatnot, not the election, but when they were trying to talk about Kavanaugh, right? I'm just curious. Is this also white privilege? Look, in fact, let's go. Here's the article. As expected, media rushed to demonize all Trump supporters as terrorists after the events that occurred on the Capitol yesterday. However, let's take a trip down memory lane and see how the media reacted in 2018 when left-wing protesters stormed the Capitol and banged on the doors of the Supreme Court. Yes, there's the protesters banging over at the Capitol building. Twitter account for the Women's March proudly rejoiced after they forced it to shut down. We were planning to shut down the Capitol building, but the authorities were so scared of this women's wave that they shut it down for us. 1,000 women and survivors and allies gathered at the Hart Senate building. Every hallway, every floor, they tweeted. Yeah, they occupied. Okay, I don't recall any articles of white privilege, but anyway, let's go back to this fresh hell. Where the hell did it go? The hell I do? Is this it right here? It is. Okay, so hello, Osan, by the way, and Maniac Man, Blues Bass Radio, and I think I got caught up. So anyway, across our Zoom screen, she continues, they affirmed with nods, thumbs ups, and emoji. She's talking about her students because this was a Zoom class, and they're all nodding and thumbs up and emojis of anger and frustration. Yes, I'm sure there was also emojis of them falling asleep in class, but I digress like Tyson. No, I whatever. Hello, Green Badger Outdoors. Fast forward 2 weeks as we analyze images from the inauguration, asking again, what do we see? We saw diversity, creativity, and humanity, and a nation embracing all of this and more. On the day of inauguration, Bernie Sanders was barely on the radar. The next day, he was everywhere. What do we see? I asked again. We've been studying diversity and discrimination in the United States. My students were ready. What did they see? They saw a white man.
You're fucking a white male!
In a puffy jacket and huge mittens. Distant not only in his social distancing, but in his demeanor and attire. I didn't say that very well. We took in the meaning of the day, the vulnerability of democracy, the power of ritual, traditions, and the peaceful transfer of power. We talked about gender and the possible meanings of the attire chosen by Vice President Kamala Harris, Dr. Jill Biden, the Biden grandchildren, Michelle Obama, Amanda Gorman, and others. We referenced the female warriors inspiring these women, the colors of their educational degrees, and their monochromatic ensembles of pure power. And there, across all of our news and social media feeds, was Bernie. Bernie memes, Bernie sweatshirts, endless love for Bernie. I puzzled and fumed as an individual as I strove to be my best possible teacher. What did I see? What did I think my students should see? A wealthy, incredibly well-educated. Wait a minute. Bernie Sanders is incredibly well-educated. Okay, hold the F up. Thank you, Chicago Mike. It's a good pausing time because I want to ask about Bernie's education. Chicago Mike, let's see, who says, well, thank you for the super chat through YouTube. What did they see? They saw whatever you wanted to have them see. Oh, right? She told them what to see. Except for that one woke smartass girl in and sits in front all the time with those glasses, that girl. And she sees white privilege on everybody that isn't whatever. Well, you know what I mean. So they saw Bernie. Because, look, here's what she did, okay? So, look. As if people weren't fawning over Kamala Harris and Michelle Obama and Jill Biden, whatever what they were. In fact, Michelle Obama, if you'd have been on Black Twitter, you'd have thought she was the only human on the planet that day. But people thought it was funny how Bernie looked. That's why he got the attention. But I'm going to continue. I mean in no way to overstate the parallel. Senator Sanders is no white supremacist insurrectionist. Are you sure about that? Oh, wait a minute. Bernie's education. Bernie, she said incredibly well educated. Bernie Sanders, education. Let's see here. Bernie Sanders biography. Let's see. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Represented Vermont, U.S. Senate 2006, which means he's been there too fucking long. Formerly affiliated, not affiliated, yada yada. Polish descent, Brooklyn. Okay, he got a degree, bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Chicago. Okay, that's a prestigious university. 1964. He graduated college the year I was born. Holy shit, is he old. And the civil rights movement, blah, blah, blah. United States, Vermont. That's it. That's all. What the hell? What did she say? What did she call him? Bernie Sanders. What did she say? Man, Bernie Sanders, barely a radar, blah, blah, blah. Right, puffy jacket, yeah. Okay, wealthy. Hey, real quickly, chat. How did Bernie Sanders get his wealth? By selling books while he was still in Congress. That's how he got wealthy. He's never had a real freaking job. He's been in government since he was 20 or 26. I mean, he lived in a freaking commune and got kicked out. And then he's literally been in government his whole life. He's never owned a business. He's never had a real job. He became mayor of Burlington, Vermont, and then went to Congress, and then they made him a senator. He's never had a job, but he's incredibly wealthy. Interesting. Let me ask you a question. Is Vice President Kamala Harris as wealthy as Bernie Sanders? Oh, I'd say probably more. Her and Doug, I think, have net worth of about $20 million. How about Dr. Jill Biden? Well, Joe's been milking every penny out of his Senate career and is now vice president, and the big guy gets some kickbacks from his son, the crackhead kid. And Michelle Obama, is she incredibly wealthy? Well, I know that her and what's his name, the guy that was I think he was something, Barack Obama, that guy there. I think they just bought a $15 million mansion on an island in Martha's fucking Vineyard. Okay. Yeah, more proof of global warming. And, who's the other one? Well, the Biden family. Yeah, they all got rich off. The only one that's not incredibly rich on that stage is Amanda Gorman, because she's just a 15-year-old poet. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, I'm sorry. But incredibly well educated. He has a degree from the University of Chicago in 1964. Probably hasn't taken a class since. Anyway. And she said, so here's what she wanted them to see, though, because she tells you what she wants them to see. But the next line, when you see privilege, you know it, I told them weeks before. Yet when they saw Bernie Sanders manifesting privilege, when seemingly no one else did, I struggled to explain that disparity. What privilege was he manifesting? That people made fun of him? Oh, the privilege of people making fun of you, and then he ended up selling some sweatshirts and giving the money to charity off of people making fun of him. Do you think that the people that put the pictures of Bernie Sanders out into the ether and putting him in memes left and right, do you think any of those people were treating him with respect like they did Michelle Obama for her Slay Queen outfit? Anybody? Does anybody feel like Bernie Sanders was being treated with respect by becoming a meme? Becoming a prolific meme? No, he became a meme because he looked so fucking out of place and they were making fun of him. Good Lord. What privilege are we talking? The fact that he got attention for looking like a schlep? Good Lord. Yet when they saw Bernie Sanders manifesting privilege, what the hell are you talking about? They were making fun of him in his goofy mittens. When seemingly no one else did, I struggled to explain that disparity. I'm beyond puzzled as to why so many are loving the images of Bernie and his gloves. Sweet, yes, the gloves knit by an educator, so Bernie. God, you are, oh, good Lord. But he got attention, so that's privilege. Not so sweet, the blindness I see of so many, Bernie included, to the privileges Bernie represents. I don't know how many poor working class or females struggling to be taken seriously folks who would show up at the inauguration of the 46th president of the United States dressed like Bernie, unless those same folks had privilege, which they don't. Bernie, he was in a suit, but he was wearing that coat. Okay, he's wearing a coat over the suit, and he's got the mittens on. Look, this woman right here, she's got a stocking cap and some, whatever. Oh, this is so annoying. But white privilege, right? Am I right? Oh my God. Anyway, I hope that. I don't know. It looks like it. Good. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. The Streamlabs donation, greatly appreciated. Who says, let's see, they saw an occupation of the Capitol with 35,000 troops. No one else was allowed to show up. Even BLM was banned.
That's right.
I saw Kitty Diddler with a crackhead son who's on the take from the Russian and Chinese I saw. Okay, wait a minute. I saw a kitty diddler with crackhead son who's on the take from the Russians and the Chinese.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the donation. Okay. So, yes, Bernie's becoming a meme is privilege. All right, let's move on. By the way, thank you, Tyler F., Cynical Lindsay, RVA, and also Maddie and Becca for tweeting out the show. If you'd be so kind, share this stream out with the people you love, and in fact, even better, with the people you don't love, because I wouldn't mind having a hater coming into the chat once in a while just to keep my knives sharp. All right, let's move on. Interesting thing. Now, by the way, the rest of my articles are fairly random. They're not in any particular order, and they don't have a particular theme. So that's it for today on that. But anyway, so interesting phenomenon in the White House press corps. Good morning, Jableu. Nice to see you. So they really hated Kayleigh, right? They really hated Kayleigh McEnany, but here's my point. Remember during the presidential debates, they were really kind of kid gloves with Joe Biden, and it almost seemed like, they were sharing questions with him in advance. Oh, we didn't know for sure because, Joe Biden really can't, he doesn't really do, hi, Thomas Cleaver. Joe Biden really doesn't do press conferences, right? And he doesn't, because, he can't keep his focus on things very long, and sometimes he says stupid shit. And with the White House press corps and the new press secretary, the White House press corps is not very happy with the Biden administration. And we knew that when the new president came into office, the White House press corps who were attack dogs, were going to be moistening their tongues because they were going, because they have some taints to clean. And, by the way, I have a proverb for that too. And you're getting a preview of my Proverbs for Modern Times. Let's see, let me see here. Oh, another proverb for modern times. The mainstream media are dogs. Either attack dogs or lap dogs. Yes, so the lap dogs in the White House press corps are a little annoyed with the Biden administration. That's a good thing, I think. Good morning, BG. And here's why. And there's an article in the Daily Beast. White House reporters say the Biden team wanted our questions in advance. It pissed off enough reporters for people to flag it for the White House Correspondents Association. One of the Daily Beast sources says. Now, if you're a reporter with tough questions for the White House press secretary, Joe Biden's staff wouldn't mind knowing about it in advance. Apparently, they don't want to look stupid because already, what's her name? Jen Psaki? she's already having to circle back an awful lot. Now, it's kind of funny because I distinctly remember, you know, particularly when Kayleigh McEnany came to the podium. Kayleigh McEnany came in with their big old binder, and they would ask her questions, and then she wasn't sure the answer. She'd have all the things tabbed, flip, and whoop, there I is. Okay, here's the answer, and and yip, yada, 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 right? And they didn't like that because she was always really prepared for their stupid questions, which, of course, when a Republican's in office, that's a redundant statement. But according to three sources with knowledge of the matter when it comes to the Biden administration, as well as written communications reviewed by the Daily Beast, and the new president's communications staff have already on occasion probed reporters to see what questions they plan on asking new White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki when called upon in briefings. She wants to preview the questions. They don't want tough questions. They want to be able to, they want to look smart, I think. The requests prompted concerns among the White House press corps, whose members, like many reporters, are sensitive to the perception that they are coordinating with political communication staffers. Oh, you mean acting like the lapdogs that they are when it's a Democratic, Democratic administration. One reporter raised the issue during an informal White House Correspondents Association Zoom call last Friday. According to multiple sources, leaders at the meeting advised print reporters to push back against requests by the White House press team to learn of questions in advance or simply not respond to the Biden team inquiry. I am so proud of them right now that they're pushing back on this shit. I'm giving them a bell just for that. Real quick, thank you, Maddie. Maddie, by the way.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar donor.
Thank you. They don't have a press secretary. They have an incompetent idiot that avoids answering questions, isn't organized, and can't get her shit together for anything in the world. With all these circles she's done, it's amazing she's not dizzy. I'm surprised she isn't like falling on the ground a few times. She circles back so much. Thank you, Maddie, so much. Good morning, Michael Hatfield. She makes my eyes twitch. Yeah, she's not very good. For all you can say about Sean Spicer and what's Huckabee, Sarah Huckabee and Psaki, and even press secretaries for Obama. This one is Jen Psaki. Well, here, let me just put it this way. I don't know that Jen Psaki has a whole lot to work with when it comes to the current president. Anyway, while it's a relief to see briefings return, what do you mean return? Press briefings were happening all the time. They weren't doing them daily, but they were doing them. While it is a relief to see press briefings return, particularly with a commitment to factual information. They're so factual all the time. The Biden administration. Okay. The press can't really do its job in the briefing room if the White House is picking and choosing the questions they want, one White House correspondent said. That's not really a free press at all. Oh, but Orange Man was the dictator. Why are you complaining? You should be happy that there's no longer a dictator in the White House. Anyway, you can read the rest of this article, but they're not happy with the White House. All right. Next here is this one is a puzzling one because as I was reading this, I'm like, one, who the hell is Kevin Carroll? Because I don't even know what he's talking about. But this is interesting. This is from the Washington Examiner, and it's kind of an annoying sort of op-ed, and I guess you'll understand why as I start reading it. So the article's called "How to Fix Our Domestic Terrorist Problem." Notice the framing here. Apparently, we have a domestic terrorist problem. Now, I seem to think in some ways, that's correct. Because in cities on the West Coast, in the Pacific Northwest in particular, there are some domestic terrorists that are out there terrorizing the city and different parts of the city every day for the last 6 to 9 months. But that's not what this article's talking about. Listen to this shit. Now, but they do reference a few left-wing terrorist organizations. Listen to this article. Domestic terrorism, a phenomenon formerly associated with left-wing groups such as the Weather Underground, Black Liberation Army, and Puerto Rican Found separatists, has returned with blood in its eyes and on its hands. We saw 5 dead in the January 6th attempted coup d'etat. Okay. Can we go back to this coup d'etat BS? What coup d'etat? It was not an attempted coup d'etat. I'm okay. Let me just. I'm not even gonna go. Let me just read along. We saw possible assassination plots against former Vice President Mike Pence, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Did we? I don't know that I know that they were saying hyperbole, very hyperbolic rhetoric to hang Mike Pence. Okay. We saw coercion designed to prevent certification of President Biden's Electoral College victory. Coercion? Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we now see the Capitol necessarily secured behind razor wire. But we also see some Republican members of Congress trying to sneak guns onto the House floor. One has even called for violence. Now, wait a minute. First of all, sneak guns onto the House floor? What do you mean sneak guns onto the House floor? You mean Boebert, who open carries, and that has been a provision and allowed since 1967? What's sneak guns on the House floor? No. She's very open about the fact that she carries. Call for violence? Okay, let's see what this is. GOP announces, Pelosi now denounces GOP leaders over Georgia lawmakers' post. Post from when? Let's see. When did she make these posts? This is Marjorie Taylor. And she's a nutcase anyway. I don't care. But listen to this. Whose views were in the spotlight even before she joined the House this month. Green supported Facebook posts that advocated violence against Democrats and the FBI. One suggested shooting Pelosi in the head. In response to a post raising the prospect of hanging former President Barack Obama, Green responded that the stage is being set. Now, again, these were hyperbolic posts that she may agree to. I don't know. Look, the old hyperbolic posts from whenever she made these, inappropriate, and she's a bit of a nutcase. But the way they write this, so one has even called for violence. Well, when did she do that? Like recently? It is time to confront these putschists. I have no idea what that means. Let's look up putschist. Putschist. Let's look that up. Copy, paste, DuckDuckGo. Never use Google if you can avoid it. Putschist. A putschist, a German word meaning push, used to mean an attempt to overthrow a government by force. Okay. I'm sorry. That wasn't. Look, if that was an attempt to overthrow a government by force, it was the worst attempt to overthrow a government by force I've ever seen. A bunch of people break into the Capitol building, run around, and take selfies. Yes, they were assholes for breaking in, but still, give me a break. All right. Democrats, such as Attorney General designate Merrick Garland and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, should use their executive and legislative power over the next 23 months to do these five important things. Now, here's the things they come up with. Listen to this shit. First, bring the heaviest felony charges possible on as many participants in the insurrection as the Justice Department can identify and believes it can confidently convict. We ruthlessly hunted down foreign terrorists after the September 11th attacks and must do the same to their domestic equivalents. Did you hear that? Hi, Lindsay. How you doing? Did you hear that? We ruthlessly hunted down foreign terrorists after the September 11, 2001 attacks and must do the same to their domestic equivalents. So the guy standing around in his whatever Viking horn hat with painted face is the same as the guys who flew buildings into the World Trade Center. Is that what they're saying? Or the Antifa guy that was there filming was the same as the 2000 September 11th attack? Or the guy with his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk was the same as the September 11th attack? Or the dumbasses taking selfies in the Capitol building was the same as the September 11 attack? Good God. Should they be charged with whatever misdemeanors that they probably have that are actually already on the law books? Yeah, they should. Some should be fined, some should do some jail time. But the ones who assaulted officers should be in jail for whatever sentence they get for assault on officers. If they find the asshole that killed the one officer, they should be in jail. Now, the other part too, again, in the beginning of this, he said, we saw 5 dead in the January 6th attempted coup d'etat. Yeah, the one officer's dead, and whoever, if they figure out who did that, should go to jail for a very, very freaking long time. One of the dead was shot by an officer, unarmed, but she was unarmed. But, you know, they've already said that they're not going to press charges against him. And you know what? I as much as I hate to say it, probably rightfully so. Maybe, I don't know. I'm torn on that one. She was unarmed, but I don't know what his issue was. Anyway. The other 3 died of natural causes that may have been related to the excitement of the event or whatever, but whatever. Anyway, so further prosecution is possible under the federal felon in possession of a firearm statute. Haven't heard about that one. Who exactly are they talking about there? Number 2. Make fire and police departments that receive federal grants have their members sign commitments not to engage in acts to overthrow the government. Who attempted to overthrow the government? Prosecute any who subsequently violate their oaths. We could also cut or suspend federal funding to departments that fail to introduce these measures. It's what we're doing to universities that receive federal grant money and then promises to the contrary allow communist Chinese to walk off with export-controlled intellectual property paid for by American taxpayers. Interesting. I'm still trying to find who's the officer that tried to overthrow the government. I don't know. Third, do not worry about Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. Rather than ban extremist chatter through government censorship or private deplatforming, use radical chat rooms as honeypots, as FBI-led joint terrorism task forces have done with violent radical Islamists since 2001. We need to draw out those of our federal citizens who are willing to attack our nation. Okay, if you can find them breaking a law, but you know, I think they should stop banning people from social media anyway. Again, I have no problem with that one because I truly believe that free speech is part of America, and because when you ban people from these social media, you lose track of them, and then they go into their own little circle jerks and become more radical. I'd rather see them out in the open and make fun of them. But, you know, there you go. Fourth, use the supremacy of federal law to ban militias beyond the National Guard. There's simply no longer any room for armed forces not answerable to the law. Well, here's the problem with that. The First Amendment also has a little thing called, one of those freedoms in the First Amendment is freedom of association. So I'm not sure how you could do that. Sorry. Don't know. And then fifth, add domestic terrorism as a predicate to the material support for terrorism statute, including its civil liability provisions. This will provide new means of successful prosecutions and gradually increase deterrence against domestic terrorists. How? I'm not sure what that means. As predator material. Okay. Oh, well, here's explain. This explains this guy already. And listen to this. This line will tell you all you need to know. I woke up in my Manhattan apartment as I should have just stopped there. I woke up in my Manhattan apartment. There you go. That explains all of it right there. As a Wall Street law firm associate on September 12, 2001. Oh, I see what you're saying. Worrying about how America could stop the next attack. I woke up as a combat veteran in my suburban Washington, D.C. house on January 7th, 2021, equally worried. Yeah, because the media has been hyping this ever since. And I understand that some people died that day. And that's awful. And like I said, prosecute that motherfucker who killed the cop to the fullest extent of the law. And prosecute the people who actually broke into the Capitol building. But as there's a lot of video of people, after those people broke in, a lot of people just went in and were walking around taking pictures and whatnot, probably not realizing that they were trespassing. Also, the idea that the president inspired this or incited this, ridiculous. If you think about it, there was tens of thousands of people there on the grounds, and the knuckleheads who broke into the Capitol building pretty much did it before the president was done speaking. And if this was an incitement by the president, the other problem is, how is it that only a few hundred people decided to take these actions that everyone's talking about, but the other tens of thousands did not? The peacefully protesting people, like Trump said, go and peacefully make your voice heard. So anyway, but this line, I also remember what helped America last time. We defeated Al-Qaeda and can do the same to the fascist thugs who attacked our democracy last month. They love to throw around that word fascist, don't they? I would say idiots who were rioting like they would for their sports team. Fascist thugs. Huh. But if we only take similar hard measures against the enemies, but only if we take similar hard measures against the enemy within. Wow. And Kevin Carroll served as a senior counselor to the Secretary of Homeland Security and chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, and as a CIA and Army officer in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Yemen. I'm just so curious. I'm so curious. Yes, we are a republic. But guess what? Here's the thing. There's so many people who think that way right now. And the media has been, look, if there's two words that you've heard over and over and over since January 5th, if you even if you have a hint of seeing any mainstream type of media, whether it's in print or whether it's radio or television, two words that you've heard over and over and over, and it's almost almost a form of hypnotism. Those two words, incitement and insurrection. I don't think what happened on January 6th, and not necessarily, I don't think it was either, other than the assholes who decided that they were going to go break into the Capitol building. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, all right, I'm running. Okay, now I gotta fly through some of this because we gotta. Oh, speaking of solutions. Is this the same guy? No, this is a completely different guy. Okay, so this Washington Post editor has a solution too. And this is fascinating. Washington Post editor imagines a UN-sponsored disarmament program for post-Civil War America segregationists. 2021. So now this is twitchy, which is already kind of snarky. Let's talk about segregation. Progressives like it. A few years ago, a student group at Oberlin College demanded a special segregated black-only safe spaces across campus. The University of Michigan Dearborn has a black and indigenous people of color cafe along with a non-POC cafe. Wow, they have separate white and non-white cafes at University of Michigan Dearborn, both hosted by the school's Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. And as reported just a few days ago, the Brentwood School for Girls hosts separate dialogue sessions for parents and families. Check on the sheet whether you'll be attending the session for white parents or the session for black parents. See, there's no other choices. You either go to the white parent group or you go to the black parent group. We don't care about all those other pesky minorities. Fuck them. So we urge those on the left to consider their words carefully when they lump in white supremacists with segregationists. We're not sure if lefties consider the January 6th storming of the Capitol to be the most famous battle of America's second Civil War, or if the whole last 4 years was a war and Biden's inaugural address was his Gettysburg Address. But America is split, and the Washington Post global opinions editor Karen Attiah says if America were any other country, we'd be talking about having a UN-sponsored disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration, DDR, program for white supremacists and segregationists. That's a mouthful. Here's Karen Attiah. If America were another country, we would be talking about how post-Civil War America is still in desperate need of a UN-sponsored disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration program for white supremacist segregationists. Now, I could read her. Did I even do this? I don't think I even pulled this article out because I'm not going to read it. Then we see the photo of the guy with the Confederate flag, but what happened to all the segregationists mentioned in our lead paragraph? In other words, And so this guy replied, in other words, you favor concentration camps for people you don't like. Sounds familiar. Re-education camps? No, they must have another word for it. We'd be surprised by the suggestions, but MSNBC's Chris Hayes softened us to the idea of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to humanely deal with Trump conservatives. But Chad Felix Green had the best answers, which is a few different tweets here. I'm going to read those and then we're going to move on. America is supposed to be a free country where the government isn't interested in what you personally believe. You simply cannot target and deny civil rights to people who hold views you strongly oppose. Why? Because you can be denied those same rights. The problem with this mindset is how fixated it is on the content. We universally oppose the white supremacist belief system and recognize how it can be dangerous in action. However, you cannot use a government to eradicate a belief system. This is how you empower that system. And finally, remove white supremacists from the equation, and remember that oppressive policing against slaves, former slaves, during segregation and the civil rights movement were based on this same principle, that the government must stamp out dangerous ideas threatening society. Yes, it can come back to kick you in the ass, in other words. So anyway, yeah, oh my gosh, she wants the UN to come in and disarm people. If it was Thursday, what would you be saying right now? I know what it is, FTG. Anyway, and then but someone says, LOL, it says a lot about America that when I talk about disarming violent white supremacists, white males in my mentions feel personally attacked. Bitch, please. I'm done with you. Interesting. Speaking of social media, which I didn't really say anything. In India, now this is, it always makes me nervous when a government, like we talk about how Twitter and the social media companies tend to focus on conservatives or anti-war left when they are when they're censoring people, when they're banning people and all that stuff, right? Well, this is fascinating because Twitter suspended hundreds of Indian accounts after the government demanded. That's kind of a fascist move, isn't it? By the way, good morning. You're a ridiculous lunatic, which I may just shorten that to lunatic. And then also good morning to why are you so angry? So this is the accusation portion of my audience. How you doing, guys? They suspended hundreds of accounts after the government told them to. The government claimed accounts of news sites, actors, and activists sought to foment violence amid a farmer protest. So they on the behalf of the government of India, they shut down people who were showing some form of dissent. Gee, I wonder if that could happen in America. Hundreds of Indian Twitter accounts, including those belonging to news websites, activists, and actors, were suspended for more than 12 hours on Monday after the government said users were posting content inciting violence. The move came in the wake of a weeks-long protest by Indian farmers against the new farm bill. The protest turned violent last week when riot police were sent in. One demonstrator was killed and hundreds of people were injured, including police officers. An Indian government official said that the Home Affairs Ministry had demanded the suspension of close to 250 Twitter accounts that were allegedly posting content seeking to foment violence. The order was issued against accounts that were using the hashtag Modi planning farmers genocide that started on January 30th, the government source says. Now, interesting. Now, here's the thing. In the United States, if they were explicitly calling for violence or directing violence, then I can see why accounts would be blocked. But here's the thing. They're blocking news sites in this one. Those blocked, including the investigative news site Caravan India, the political commentator Sanjukta Basu, the activist Hansraj Meena, the actor Sushant Singh, and the chief executive of the state-run broadcaster Prasabharti Sasa Shekhar Vempati were silenced inside India without warning and with little explanation. Their pages carrying only the message, account has been withheld in India in response to legal demand. Also blocked were two popular accounts linked to the farmers' protests, Kisan Ekta Morcha and Tractor to Twitter. There was no public explanation or detail of the legal demand from the government. The accounts were still visible inside India and were restored inside the country late on Monday after about 12 hours offline. You know what? Look, I don't think I did, but I am now. All right, moving on. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about how fucking dirty the media is, which, I know it's redundant for me to say, but this guy, Tony Render, highlights a CNBC.com article saying that Donald Trump Jr. video shows happy family and friends backstage at rally prior to the Capitol riot that killed 5. Outgoing President Trump has also urged the crowd to help him, quote, fight, end quote, Biden's confirmation as the winner and march to the Congress after the rally. Now, again, they cherry pick words out of the speech. Obviously, the ones that you never hear the media talk about are, what was it? Peacefully. I mean, hello, midday sun. Peacefully. It's kind of, it's just dirty the way they did this. The way he wrote this. And then, the reason I saw this is because of Jake Tapper. Because Jake Tapper's no longer a journalist. Jake Tapper's an activist now. Because he said, pour out a cold one for all the GOP press secretaries who have to apply extra care and diligence as they type out statements condemning the coup in Myanmar, quote, subverting the will of the people, end quote. No, can't say that. Quote, bogus allegations of voter fraud, end quote. No, can't say that. He's being an asshole. But anyway, here's the article in question. And this is, and the way they write this is just, it's so just in a way misleading, gaslighting, whatever. There's a video of the Trump family looking at the rally before the event, before the speeches, right? Now, if you would watch Twitter a few days after January 6th, this is published January 8th. Good God, why are they bringing this up now? But they're saying, the video shows them dancing and laughing and celebrating the people attacking the Capitol. Well, that was a complete and utter lie. That was complete and utter lie. And very few people brought that up, that it was a lie. But this article is referencing that video. Because if you met, anyway. So Donald Trump Jr. video shows happy family friends backstage at rally prior to Capitol riot that killed 5. And again, killed 5. One of the rioters was shot. The police officer was killed, and hopefully they'll find the people who did that and put them in jail. And then the other 3 who died from natural causes. A video apparently taken by Donald Trump Jr. shows his family and friends laughing and joking in the backstage area before President Donald Trump spoke at a rally Wednesday. And notice the implication is that they were laughing and joking at something that afterwards something tragic happened. They're trying to make it sound like something's wrong with the fact that they were laughing and joking, because they should have known through Karnak the Incredible that there was going to be major trouble just a few hours later, right? But so it's bad that they were laughing and joking before this tragic event that they didn't know was going to happen. Not long afterward, a mob of the president's supporters invaded the U.S. Capitol in a riot that left 5 people dead. Again, this is on the 8th. They didn't know all the details yet. The video features Don Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, saying she hopes Vice President Mike Pence has the courage or the brains to do the right thing and block confirmation of Joe Biden as president by Congress. Okay, that's what they were hoping. And again, does it have anything to do with the Capitol attack? No, because this happened before. A video apparently taken by Donald Trump Jr. shows his family and friends laughing and joking in the backstage area before President Trump spoke at the rally. Not long after the mob, blah blah blah. Same thing. That this is where they have the key points, but then their first sentence in the article has the same freaking key points. So anyway, it's obtained by CNBC because it was on Instagram at first. It was live. Features Donald Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, saying the same thing. So all 3 of the key points are the first 3 sentences in the fucking article. That's stupid. It also shows Eric Trump, Donald Jr.'s brother, being congratulated for his birthday that same day. The video does not currently appear on Donald Jr.'s Instagram page. CNBC has requested comment on the video from the Trump Organization, which Donald Jr. runs with Eric Trump, and from the White House. And then it just kind of tells you what they're doing. But here, there's a line in here. They are very selective with what they quote. Guys, getting ready to go here, Donald Jr. says on the video, which appears to have been streamed online from his phone in a tented area during the rally outside of the White House. I can't believe the crowds I've seen out there. Literally 100,000 people, and it's going all the way to the Washington Monument. Wait a minute. There were 100,000 people there, and they couldn't take over the Capitol building with that many people. What's wrong with these people? What a shitty coup that was. What a terrible insurrection. You got 100,000 people, and you can't overpower a Capitol building? Are you kidding me? In Minecraft? Because I'm being sarcastic. Oh, a few hundred broke into the Capitol building, but there were 100,000 people there? Boy, Donald Trump sucks at incitement. He sucks at everything, including incitement. Incitement. Anyway, just awesome patriots who are sick of bullshit, Donald Jr. says, as Laura Branigan's song Gloria can be heard blaring from outside. So thank you for that. It's actually hard to believe. In the background, President Trump is seen on the video waiting to go out on stage. Later during the listen to this. This is precious. Later during a speech of more than an hour, the president made false claims about alleged ballot fraud swindling him out of an electoral victory over Biden. Trump also had urged the crowd to help him, quote, fight, end quote, Biden's confirmation as the winner and march to Congress after the rally. When the crowd did so, thousands of people swarmed around the Capitol complex and shoved past Capitol Police to swarm through the halls of Congress, occupying the Senate chamber and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office, among other lawmakers' offices. One of the invaders, a woman, was shot and killed by a Capitol Police officer. Another Capitol Police officer died after being hit by a rioter with a fire extinguisher. 3 other people died during the melee, which has led to calls for Trump to be removed from office. So this is 2 days before. They didn't really know everything, so they didn't know. It still wasn't common knowledge that the other 3 people died of natural causes or whatever. But anyway, but yeah, for Tapper, well, first of all, Tapper's, like I said, Tapper's turned into an activist. He's no longer a journalist. He's an activist. But it's just the way they write things and make sure that they selectively choose the words from the speech. You know, choosing the word fight rather than choosing the word peacefully makes all the difference in the world when you're trying to gaslight the entire country. Moving on, a Missouri. Oh, this is another one. This is like those where I had to read the article because the headline is so incredibly misleading. Missouri church leaders call for Hawley's resignation over election claims. Now, when you read this headline, Missouri church leaders, how many? I wonder how many are part of this. But here's the article in the way The Hill wrote it. A group of religious leaders, a group, mind you, listen, a group of religious leaders in Missouri is calling for Senator Josh Hawley to resign following his contesting of President Biden's victory in the 2020 presidential election. And I'm like, wow, a group of, like a bunch, like, is this like church leaders all over the state of Missouri? Let's see. I'm going to make sure that I have this open too, because this is significant here. So I clicked the KMOV site because the way The Hill writes it, if you're watching this from somewhere other in the, well, this is what she said. Hawley is the first senator to announce he would join House Republicans in contesting the certification of Biden's Electoral College victory. Millions of voters concerned about election integrity deserve to be heard, Hawley said at the time. I will object on January 6th on their behalf. So they mentioned this woman, Reverend Cassandra Gould of Missouri Faith Voices, and this woman, Rabbi Susan Taub, another member of the Faith Coalition. Now, so I'm thinking, okay, read the headline again. Missouri church leaders call for Hawley's resignation over election claims. Sounding like this is a coalition of hundreds of church leaders throughout the state of Missouri, right? Let's go to the local station's version of this. And they also write, faith leaders across Missouri call for Hawley's resignation. Now, when I hear the word faith leaders across Missouri, I'm thinking maybe they got a few hundred, pastors or whatever to sign a petition or something. Well, here it is. Again, faith leaders across Missouri are calling for Senator Josh Hawley's resignation. A group called Missouri Faith Voices said Hawley challenging President Biden's Electoral College win led to the Capitol riots. Really? Did they? How so? How did Hawley's challenging President Biden's Electoral College win lead to the Capitol riots? I thought for sure President Trump led to the Capitol riots because he incited his mob. How does that make sense? At a press conference Thursday, leaders demanded Hawley be held accountable. Now, let's do this. Let's watch the report because this is even better. Yep, hang on. I'm going to mute that because I don't want to hear whatever that music is. Okay, it's over.
Faith leaders across the state of Missouri are calling for Senator Josh Hawley's resignation.
Faith leaders across the state of Missouri, he says.
The group says Hawley challenging President Biden's Electoral College win led to the Capitol Hill riots. Missouri Faith Voices, a group of churches across the state, held a press conference today demanding Hawley be held accountable.
Did they?
We are calling for his resignation.
Okay,
if you're watching this from somewhere else other than Missouri, we ask you to contact your senator and ask them to have him expelled from the Senate immediately. Missouri can't afford this. Black people can't afford this.
Now, just out of curiosity, just out of curiosity, what are the chances that, what's her name? This is Reverend Reverend Dr. Cassandra Gould. What are the chances that Reverend Dr. Cassandra Gould voted for Josh Hawley in the first place? What are the chances? Give me between 0% and 100% in the chat. What are the chances Dr. Cassandra Gould voted for Josh Hawley and is now saying that they're calling for his resignation? But I'll play the tape while you're answering that question. Here we go.
My grandchildren can't afford this.
I am afraid of Josh Hawley as an opportunity.
I am afraid of Josh. Rabbi Susan Taub. Now, Central Reform Congregation. Rabbi. Interesting.
Josh Hawley has shown us that he will do anything. He will sell his soul for his own self-serving interest.
Now, I wonder, I should have looked this up beforehand, but I also wonder, what are the chances that Rabbi Susan Taub voted for Josh Hawley or encouraged anyone in her state to vote for Josh Hawley before the events on January 6th? I'm gonna guess that's pretty small too. Anyway, but here's watch.
Our newsroom reached out to Senator Hawley for comment, but no response from him.
That's it. Two. That faith leaders across Missouri. Now let's look up Missouri Faith Voices. Copy. DuckDuckGo. Paste and click. Missouri Faith Voices, grassroots faith-based organization. Let's see here. Let's see what this is. I don't know anything about this, but this should be interesting. Missouri Faith Voices. Boy, I'm not getting very far. Anyway, Missouri Faith Voices is a grassroots faith-based organization formed to improve the quality of life throughout Missouri. Learn more about us. Let's try to learn more about us. I'm clicking. It's not getting us anywhere. Okay. Being led by our faith, MFV is committed to transforming the lives of ordinary individuals and families who have been historically impacted due to racism and injustice by equipping them to challenge the systems that create those conditions and inviting community stakeholders to co-create a moral vision for Missouri and engage in the prophetic action necessary to make it reality. It is a multi-faith, multiracial, statewide, nonpartisan organization that is committed to empowering and transforming the lives of ordinary citizens who have been targeted by unfair policies and practices and oppressed by racial and economic injustice. We create the hope, power, produce the power, and equip those who are impacted with the knowledge and political will needed to create a just society for all Missourians. They're an activist organization. Probably not unlikely that they are voting for Josh Hawley. All right. So anyway, it's I'll leave that in the tabs too. Moving on. We're now just some quick hits. 9 New York health officials have quit as Cuomo scorns expertise. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Apparently this nursing home scandal that he's blaming on them, they're not happy about being blamed. The deputy commissioner of public health at the New York State Health Department resigned in late summer. Oh, well, that's a while ago. I want to know about the 9 that have quit since. Because some are mad about the vaccination schedule. Some are mad that he's blaming them for the nursing home scandal. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that up there. Many have quit. And you would think that the greatest governor on earth would not have a problem keeping people working for him. I'm just saying. I don't know. Critical race theory is infecting Christianity. Yeah, it just sounds like a CRT organization, doesn't it? Let's see. Moving on. here come the show trials and purges that are just getting started. I'm going to leave. You want to read this article. It actually originally was in PJ Media. Also, let's see why it's. Oh, and here's a reason Thomas Asic. I can't say his name. Asic. Why it's completely unconstitutional to impeach someone after he leaves office. This goes through the Federalist Papers, and it's addressing where impeachment is discussed in those, and there's no discussion of separating the punishments of removal and disqualification. They go hand in hand. It's not one or the other, and since the president is no longer the president, you can't remove someone from office who's not in office. The other problem with the impeachment is impeachment normally would have the Chief Justice of the United States presiding. Well, the reason the Chief Justice of the United States is not presiding is because now it's a private citizen that they are going after. And so even the Chief Justice of the United States doesn't feel like it's a constitutional process. At least that's what I infer from that, because if the president were in office, then the Chief Justice would be there. Well, he's not. So anyway, if you want to get caught up on how the Federalist Papers viewed that, you can look at that article in the tabs after the show. Also, let's see, Senate. Oh, and then Senate takes the Star Chamber. I am going to go through this with a little bit since I have some time. One of the infamous tools of British law was the Star Chamber. It was created in the late 15th century as a court of equity, and one that could deal with the wrongdoing amongst the highest in the land, and initially functioned efficiently and openly by the early years 16th century, though it had turned into a purely political tool, advancing the crown's interest and breaking those who threatened the king's power. That perfectly describes the Senate's Ethics Committee announcement that it would engage in a secretive proceeding to review Senators Cruz and Hawley because they argued that the 2020 presidential election had significant fraud that needed to be investigated. Again, remember what Cruz and Hawley were asking for. They weren't asking for the election to be overturned. They were asking for an extra 10 or whatever, 20 days or whatever, to investigate the states where there was claims of voter fraud. They weren't asking to overturn the election. They wanted to investigate. Anyway, excuse me. Of course, even Democratic senators know that objecting to an election does not justify investigating fellow senators. Instead, the charge here is that by questioning the election results, Cruz and Hawley incited the events at the Capitol on January 6th. Oh, really? The events that were happening while they were in Senate chamber or in the chambers? How could they incite the events? Anyway, with the Democrats call and what the Democrats call it insurrection, a word Democrats never use when their supporters stormed the Congress and the Senate office buildings in connection with the Kavanaugh hearings. We know that the Capitol incursion was planned months in advance, that Trump spoke only of peacefully approaching the Capitol, unlike Democrats' military branches of BLM and Antifa, which like to storm places, that police invited people in, and that a small percentage of the rally attendees who entered the Capitol was already on the move before Trump even finished speaking. Additionally, we know certainly that of the 180 people arrested, out of hundreds present at the Capitol, well, thousands present at the Capitol, some of them were neither Trump supporters nor Republicans. According to CNN, which analyzed the data of over 180 of those arrested, at least 8 of the people who are now facing criminal charges for their involvement in the events at the Capitol did not vote in November 2020 presidential election, according to analysis of voting records from the states where protesters were arrested and those states where public records show they have lived. While it is true that most of the 80 had voted in the presidential election and many were registered Republicans, the analysis found that a handful were registered as Democrats in those jurisdictions that provided party information. Moreover, one of the leaders, John Sullivan, is a known leftist activist. Even though the incursion on the Capitol had nothing to do with Trump or with anything Hawley or Cruz said or did, the lefties who control the Democratic Party are determined to proceed with a full Stalinist purge. According to Politico, after multiple leading Democrats call for the two Republicans to resign, Cruz and Hawley's challenge to President Joe Biden's Electoral College win is now tied up in the opaque Senate Ethics Committee. And while Trump's impeachment trial will conclude quickly, the probe into whether the two senators played a role in inciting the violent Capitol attack will unwind over an interminable timetable with little hint of where it is going. The committee says nothing about its business until actions are taken, and it has a lot of business before it. 7 Democratic senators filed a complaint against the 2 GOP senators who led the effort to object to the election results, arguing that they, quote, lent legitimacy to the cause of those who invaded the Capitol. Hawley fired back with a counter complaint alleging improper conduct for partisan gain. So anyway, finally, a doctor says it. Oh, what did the doctor say? Okay, we'll open that tab. We'll check that out later. So anyway, this Senate panel is just persecuting those guys because they didn't obey. You're supposed to obey. You're supposed to do what you're told. So they do what they told you. Anyway, hey, by the way, how about you click a like button if you haven't done it yet? Just if you like what we do, of course. I'm not telling you what to do, but sometimes I got to remind you because, I know when I'm watching streams, I forget and what's not. Do I want to go through any more articles today? I am out of time. Well, here's what's left if you want to read them. Apparently, armed Antifa members occupied a hotel, shout at cops, quote, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. This was from February 1st. On Sunday, a group of homeless activists who dressed up Antifa style, black bloc, armed with batons and knives, entered the lobby of the Red Lion Hotel in Olympia, Washington, demanding the open rooms for homeless people. Antifa agitators allegedly assaulted an employee while other employees hid in the basement room for more than 6 hours. Police eventually secured the hotel, but in the skirmish, agitators chanted, quote, pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon, a threat against cops. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Throws up Jack Cochran's girlfriend on the screen for a moment. If any Republican were hurt during the White House riot, do you think the Democrats would blame them or milk it for victim points? I think that if any Republicans were hurt during the White House riot, do you think Democrats would blame them or milk it for victim points? Well, I don't know how Democrats would milk it for victim points, but they would be constantly pointing at them saying, see, this is what you brought on. You brought it on yourself. Most Democrats would, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'd say you brought on yourself. Anyway, so Antifa takes over a hotel. I think they eventually got them out, but not good. But there's some video there if you want to check that article. By the way, thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Appreciate that. And then the last article is the slow killing of the American frog. Yeah, we've been in that boiling pot for a while. On the Daily Beast, Biden taps ex-colleague of Hunter Biden's lawyer to temporarily run the DOJ criminal division. Oh, Hunter Biden is going nowhere. President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, hired a new criminal defense attorney late last year to defend him in the federal government's criminal investigation into his business dealings. Then, on the day that Joe Biden was sworn into office, Joe Biden tapped a close colleague of Hunter Biden's new lawyer to oversee that Department of Justice's criminal division, which is reportedly investigating Hunter Biden. Isn't that special? Thank you, Select a Boy, with the link in through YouTube Super Chat, who says, any idea how much of our money is being wasted on the second impeachment sham? Well, not nearly as much as the first one because they're kind of just trying to fly through it. But any money spent on it is too much. So FTG to the Democrats in the House and Senate. So anyway, Hunter Biden's lawyer's associate is now part of the Justice Department that is investigating Hunter Biden. Way to go. Also in the headlines, again, these stories are all in the tabs. Andrew Cuomo warned New Yorkers to avoid travel during the snowstorm, and then he drove to New York City. Rules for thee, none for thee. I know you can't see that, but that article's here. You could get a good chuckle out of it. By the way, it reminds me of another one of the new proverbs for modern times. Let's see here. It's here somewhere. Just a moment. Oh, I can't find it. Well, it'll be, like I said, I'm doing a new series called Proverbs for Modern Times. Look forward to those videos. They'll be very short videos, but they'll be easily watched and shared. It was, what is that one? It's down here farther. Oh, well, I can't find it. I'll find it later, and you'll know which one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. A proverb for modern times. Democrats make rules for others to obey. There you go. A proverb for modern times. Let's see. I got that one. Also in the tabs, Kamala Harris confused. Oh, I forgot. Remember I told you yesterday that Kamala Harris went to Arizona and did an interview on local TV there, and then she went to West Virginia to do an interview on TV there. Basically, just a shot across the bow to Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin because they oppose getting rid of the filibuster, and they oppose stacking the courts, adding seats to the Supreme Court. Well, while she was in West Virginia, in her interview, she was asked about the state's coal industry, and she reassured Virginia coal miners that even if their jobs disappear under the Biden administration, and the implication was clear that they would disappear, mine workers could transfer their skills to new industries. She then listed several exciting new careers coal miners could consider. The first was, and I quote, reclaiming abandoned landmines. I'll just let that sit there and you could read the article for yourself, but I thought it was funny. Also, we got to talk about AOC, but I'm out of time. I need a whole nother day for this, so I'm not going to, I'm definitely not going to, I'm not going to do it. So finally, just from, was it Maddie who sent me this, or was it Lindsay? I think, who just sent me this? It was Lindsay. Lindsay sent me this, and I just found humor in it. And I'll put it on the screen. There's a tweet that says, "Doctor, regular masks don't work against viruses. The reason we wear a mask is because the fear is so massive in this country. But I don't wear a mask because they work." Here he is.
We know what works. These don't work against viruses. Regular masks don't work. That's simply what it is. It's been shown many times. It's nothing to do with COVID. COVID doesn't even factor into the equation because for years we've been looking at these issues.
Sorry.
So they have these spacesuits. They're called PAPRs. They're incredibly effective. They filter viruses down to, I think, the 0.01 or something like that. Basically, we have materials like N99, N100, but N95 blocks, let's say 5%, only 5% of airborne particles can get through. But all viruses can get through, period. All viruses can get through. Now, do they get through? No, it's just like a chain link fence. If you throw sand in a chain link fence, not all the sand gets through. So I think the best example I can say is like the reason we wear masks and the reason I wear a mask, because the fear is so massive in this country. I wear a mask so people don't think I don't care about them. Okay? But I don't wear a mask because they work. We know
right,
what
so there
works.
You go.
These don't work.
And on that note, I got to go, people. Thank you for being here today at the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and I think 1500 GMT. I don't know, something like that. But I know that my Eastern and Central time is right. So come and join me tomorrow, and hope to see you again. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Also, share the stream. If you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section so that I know you were here. And if you want to do donations, you can do that. The information is all down below in the section down there, and Super Chats and Streamlabs, and you know the deal. So thank you, guys. I really do got to leave. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when they go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.